There are a couple of you out there who, like me, are playing the Reaper of Souls beta, having a lot of fun, but you might not have characters in all the different classes to level up, or you might have friends who haven't leveled up their characters, or you might not have much gold. And to play the game and really test everything out, you do need gold. You do need Paragon points if you want to go into the higher tournaments and really progress into the higher difficulties. So I'm going to show you real quick a simple way that pretty much any character can level up their friends very quickly. 1 through 70 will take somewhere around 30 minutes. Or level up your friends' alts to go from 60 to 70 in maybe about 10 minutes. Or you can also just Paragon level yourself and get a lot of gold in the process. What we're going to be doing are 3 different bounties, 2 in Act 1 and 1 in Act 3. Each time you complete a bounty, you'll get about 500k gold and a considerable amount of experience. So we'll go ahead and start. Switch over to Torment and go up to Torment 6. Make sure you're in a private game and start the game. Now, when you're doing this, you're not really too concerned about your character's DPS. I made a little gear set right here for mine, specifically for doing these runs. So, the most important things you're going to be looking on this gear would be like on the shoulders. You notice you have reduced cooldowns of all skills by 7%. You can also get that on your rings and on your amulet. I also happen to have a legendary flail, which reduces the resource cost by 12, which isn't really a big of a deal here, but the big deal is that it doubles the duration of steed charge. So for a Crusader, this is really a pretty decent set for doing this. You're going to be building only defensive stats here, so maybe life regen, life, and all res are going to be your most important things beyond that cooldown reduction, because you really want to reduce your cooldown for any spells you have that help you escape or get around quicker. And for a Crusader, you also want to make sure you have a nice block percentage, because those Torment creatures do considerable damage even with one hit. So I'm going to throw this gear on. Like I said, DPS is not a big deal here. You really just want to have good defense. So you see here I have anywhere from around 1500 to 1700 all res. Almost 600k life. And obviously very little DPS, but we're not going to be using DPS here at all. A gear set like this can be purchased from a merchant using your blood shards, or you can just find it on the ground. Really simple, really cheap gear. Pretty much anyone can put something like this together, and you can do this with any class. So let's begin. The first bounty we're going to be doing is in Act 1, Cemetery of the Forsaken, and it's called the Matriarch's Bones. So basically you just TP over there. As you can see in this example, I have a level 1 character just sitting in the game. It doesn't have any leveling equipment on it, but if you do have like a Cane set or a Hellfire ring or a Leoric's ring, wouldn't hurt to throw it on there just to make this go a little bit quicker, but it's really quick as it goes, to be honest. You just want to run around till you see the yellow identifier pop up. Start the quest. You have 3 urns that spawn. Go and click the 3 urns and completely ignore the elite that spawns in the middle of the room. Run over to the sarcophagus on the other side of the room and click it, and you're done. You got yourself 500,000 gold or so, a good chunk of experience, and you can see there the level 1 is now level 15. So as you can imagine, leveling goes pretty quick using this. The next bounty is also the Cemetery of the Forsaken. It's called the Jar of Souls. Now this one takes a little bit longer, and sometimes it's a little bit more effort required, but it's really, really simple when it comes down to it. Run back into the crypt, and just like the other one, you kind of just want to ride the walls until you see the yellow icon pop up. Everything in the crypt kind of circles around and ends back in the same area. So as long as you ride the walls and avoid as many of the mobs as you can, you shouldn't ever have any trouble. You run to the middle of the room and you start the event by clicking the jar. And now you pretty much just wait. I usually run over into the corner and just stand there. I've noticed that the skeletons will basically just start spawning up around the room. If you stay completely still and out of the way, generally you won't have them even attack you. In this circumstance, I do have an enchantress with me, so if they get too close to her, she will start attacking them. But they move super slow, so even if they are aggroing you and they start chasing you around, you can pretty much outrun them just by foot. But if you have some different spells to make you run quicker or get away, you shouldn't have any issues getting away from them. And if you have gear that's decent, like I've said, stack all res, stack life, you should easily be able to take a couple of hits without any problems. Once the timer runs out, you have a jar that spawns in the middle of the room. Click it, you get the bounty complete. You can pick up your rewards, and all of these give you are a couple rares, a couple gems, so if you need those things, go ahead and grab them. And portal back to your town, and you are safe. And the final bounty is in Act 3, Rackus Crossing, and it's called Crazy Climber. This is probably the easiest of the three. It can spawn, the map can spawn a couple different ways. This is the shorter of them. You basically just run over to the guy, the Private James, you click him, run up these stairs, and you have the lieutenant right at the top. Click him to deliver the spyglass, X out of it, and you are done. Bounty complete. Get the same rewards, and you can run back to safety, or you can just run back to the town portal and get out of there. And that's pretty much it. You can run these over and over. Really easy way to power level, and it's also a good way just to build up gold if you need some gold for crafting gems or anything like that. So I hope that helps some of you guys out, and check back, make sure you subscribe. We'll have a lot more Diablo 3 content coming up, and a couple of other games that we've been playing as well.